Hello everybody, this is Al Capitano here from Foodie World Media, where we bring you another clash today between Barcelona and Newcastle, between Hansi and Eddie Howe. Hansi Flick, who counts on high lane and constant high pressure, and Eddie Howe, surprisingly today, he counted on the same philosophy and methodology. Now let's begin with the formation. Newcastle started their formation with 4-3-3, counting on constant high pressure, especially in the first half, and set pieces as any other team in the Premier League. I think this feature is specified in the Premier League. And Barcelona started the game with 4-2-3-1, with the absence of Lamine Yamal, the golden boy and the Ballon d'Or nominee. Barcelona started the game with a slower tempo, and as we know that Newcastle Stadium is very tough for any opponents. As we saw in the first game in the Premier League when Liverpool struggled there, this stadium is very tough for any opponent. The fans, they're cheering for their team for 90 minutes non-stop, and I think this was the reason why Barcelona's player, they weren't able to play their game, their style at the beginning, because their build-up wasn't great. As we could see in minute 3, they weren't able to build up. Barcelona, that I know, they are fantastic on the ball. However, Barcelona tried to build up from the back, although Newcastle counted on high press all the time, as we could see in minute 3, but Barcelona preferred to play on the ground, utilizing their strength, because we all know that Newcastle, they are a very physical team. Newcastle constant pressure caused Barcelona's player to make mistakes, but when they made the mistakes and Newcastle had the opportunity, like in minute 8, there was a goalie. His name is Juan Garcia. This guy, Barcelona needed a goalie like this. If you want to win the Champions League after 11 years, you have to have a goalie, to have someone like Juan Garcia to protect your goal. You need to have someone like Juan Garcia to protect your net. Garcia wasn't only a goalie, he was a key player in transitions. When he saved the ball, he played it straight up to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford ran from the flanks and he cut inside. Unfortunately, that was an amazing transition, but it wasn't successful. During this period, both teams tried to play back and forward. The first half continued to be quick transitions between both teams, and we saw that Newcastle utilized Barcelona's weakness because they don't have Baldi, and Gerard Martin is playing. Gerard Martin is quite the opposite of Baldi. He's a little bit slow, and Elanga from the right flank, he was utilizing this weakness, as we see that in this chance in minute 29, when Garcia saved the ball. He kept Barcelona alive again for the second time. Before finishing the first half, I want to mention a couple of points. First of all, if you want to win the Champions League after 11 years, you need to have a goalie like Juan Garcia who saves you when you're not performing at your best shape. Second of all, you can't play always high defensive lane and counting on offside trap. Thirdly, you need to have a quick transitions and utilizing the chances you get. But unfortunately, in the first half, we didn't see the third point was implemented. But overall, they weren't too bad. Let's keep in mind, they're playing in a hard stadium where fans support their team all the time. In the second half, we saw a shift in momentum in Barcelona's player. It was apparent that Hansi Flick instructed his players to be themselves, and we saw that phenomenal touches from Pedri and De Jong and switching from the sides, and they controlled the tempo. And after that, yes.
A few moments later.
Despite this change, Newcastle, they played their game. They had a couple of chances, and the last chance they had was in minute 57 before the goal, when Garcia saved the ball and he started a rapid transition, and we saw that how Rashford ran from the side, cutting and switching between him and Lewandowski, and took Lewandowski's position, and Rafinha played that wonderful pass, wonderful cross, and Rashford scored with an amazing header. It was a phenomenal goal. It was his first goal with Barcelona. After the goal, Barcelona went back to their old ways with a high pressure, and we saw that Rafinha in minute 65, he pressed it and he tackled the ball from the left back. After that, Marcus Rashford had an amazing opportunity. Let me say it clearly, it wasn't an opportunity, it was a moment of brilliance. He reminded me of Marcus Rashford when he was 17 years old, when he used to score goals like this from outside the box. Boom! With Torres in the pitch, Barcelona's high press became more effective, created more opportunities, while defensive line still remained disciplined. After minute 75, I was asking myself, why Hansi Flick is not bringing in Casado? He needed Casado because Casado can control the rhythm as well. He could have played with 3 midfielders and take Rashford out, because Rashford, he was clearly tired. Sometimes Hansi Flick does little mistakes, but Pedri was there. Pedri and De Jong, although they tried to control the tempo, but Barcelona conceded a goal in minute 89, and that made the game a little bit more intense again. Barcelona's fans put their hand in their heart. They were like, are we gonna go back with 1 point? But at the end of the game, Casado and Pedri and De Jong, they tried to control the tempo, and they made a couple of tactical mistakes during the counter-attacks. Barcelona's victory, they have improved tactically and they are disciplined. They improved in their defending approach, and we could see that in the game. They absorbed the pressure that they faced from Newcastle, and they're playing in a tough stadium. That shows their maturity and they are ready for this Champions League title. And this maturity we saw it with Ronald Araujo. This guy, all Barça fans last few years, they were attacking him because he was immature with dealing some of the situations against PSG 2 years ago and last year against Inter Milan. But this season I have faith in him. He was able to lead Barcelona's defense with the long balls that Newcastle tried to play and the set pieces. He was a solid. The second player that I want to feature is Juan Garcia, the goalkeeper. He saved Barcelona numerous times today. And if you want to win the Champions League, you gotta have a goalie like him. He was amazing with saving the balls and covering the defense line as well when it's needed. And the third player, Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez, who didn't score today, but he was effective with the high press and creating some chaos in the midfield and central spaces. And the second last player I want to talk about, Marcus Rashford, who scored 2 amazing goals and started his journey with Barcelona. Let me say that he started his score sheet with Barcelona. The last 2 players I want to mention, De Jong and Pedri, these 2 players who control the tempo of the game. They are the heart of the midfield in Barcelona. When they were performing really good, Barcelona plays good. They were able to overcome the pressure in the second half. And lastly, I want to thank Hansi for creating this amazing team. Although Lamine Yamal, their star, is not there, but they still were resilient and they got the victory. If you like this video, please subscribe and give us the like button. Peace!